All right, folks, welcome back to part 4, aptly entitled Quantum of Solace. And we're back in the comfort and confines of my study, obviously. But we're going to do it from here instead of my pickup truck because I have the multimedia tools at my disposal. Much easier to do this and demonstrate how to do this with 2 laptops from my home network than it would be outside. Also, I do have a number of contingencies in the event of a catastrophic event, even at my home office over here. So we can run Bitcoin Core in the event of, say, a power outage, at least for 6 hours. So let's go ahead and just give a brief rundown again of what we're doing here. So imagine that the instance that I will be running over here with Blockstream is back my pickup truck. And again, for the sake of demonstration here, just imagine that this pine book, which I actually love quite, it's quite nice, by the way. Look at it. Its craftsmanship is pretty much on par with Mac. The display isn't quite there yet, but again, probably just as good in terms of the bang for the buck, if not better than a $2,000 Mac. This is actually $200. New MacBook's probably going to cost $2,000. So anyway, Pinebook's not plugging me. I just thought I'd mention that while we're here. But again, in the next sequence of this tutorial, we'll be back on my desktop. This will be running Blockstream, okay? And this will be effectively connected to that antenna over there, okay? You see that wavelength antenna? That will take the Blockstream signal. That's, again, from my home office over here that I've mounted. I have a satellite nearby, even at my home office. Again, I'm prepared like a good Eagle Scout. And that is connected to the Blockstream network. It will connect to this antenna. So it'll be feeding the Blockstream satellite, running Bitcoin by satellite, will be fed into this Pinebook here, right? And then this will broadcast to any other MacBook or device nearby that might be receiving or want to receive Bitcoin, like to run Bitcoin, let's say. So let's just say in the event of, this is why it's important, let's just say in the event of a catastrophic event, like the electrical grid goes out, right? And I have enough backup here, let's say a 24-hour reserve battery that is able to run Blockstream or run Bitcoin with Blockstream, and it could broadcast within 100 yards any other device that would want to run Bitcoin. It could broadcast by this antenna over here through my network. So again, this would be connected. I'm going to demonstrate this for the intended purposes of the tutorial. This would be connecting to the adapter here. It's a conventional Cat6 connection. Plugs that in there. Another Cat6 connection is connected to that wavelength antenna. And then there's, of course, a power adapter. What is the power supply here? 24 volt. So anyway, you connect that in. Plenty of power on board. That eco diesel to feed this as well. But so you turn that on, and then again, that would be able to relay the Blockstream service or run Bitcoin from space. So this would be able to relay that signal to other any other device nearby that would want to connect to the Bitcoin network. So I'm gonna do that over there, which is closer to that device. To my I have another sort of a server, mini server farm, as you all are aware. It's close to my basement, but it's gonna be this antenna right here will be down over there. You can see that cone over there. It's gonna be over there at my residence. I opened the doors up and invited you all to my my humble abode over here briefly. But that'll be over there, and then I'll be connected to my sort of server closet that I have nearby and basement that is connected to that satellite that is also able to run Blockstream. So should be pretty straightforward here. I did update the blog, so we will be referencing that with this, and it should be, again, pretty straightforward. We're going to be referencing 2 laptops, one directly behind me, and again, that other laptop, which will be this one, connected to my server closet over there, which is also capable of running Bitcoin from space with Blockstream. So let's go ahead and spin it around here. We'll get back on my desktop, and I'll show you all what's up from space with Blockstream. Encore, Part 4, Quantum of Solace. Let's get after it, folks. All right, folks, we're back on my desktop here. Let's go ahead and pan over to my desktop 2. And I will briefly explain what's going on here. So to the left over here, as you can see, that's this laptop right behind me, okay? And that's going to serve as our relay, or what we'll be connecting to, or how we will connect to the other computer, which is to my right. That is the computer running Blockstream from my server farm, from the comfort and confines of my home office / study here. So again, this is computer 1 right behind me, okay? And that's going to connect to computer 2 over here, which is my Blockstream computer running Bitcoin from space. As you all are familiar with, if you've been following on this tutorial, that's correctly running Bitcoin from space with Blockstream. As you can see, it's up to date now with the block count, 611,356. Ho-humming along. So I've updated the blog down here, okay? Encore, Quantum of Solace. And if we go down to preparing Blockstream environment. So what we're going to do here is prepare this computer over here. That's computer 2 over my server farm over there. We're going to go ahead and launch the connection editor. So do that by launching nm-connection-editor. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in over here. It's going to be a little slow again for that VNC server. It's a little bit sluggish from Mac environment to Ubuntu. I'm not sure why. Okay, so that'll launch that. We're going to go ahead and just click on that, and then click on the settings wheel, okay? Then we're going to go down over to IPv4 settings, okay? And as I've described in the blog over here, we're going to select, let's see here, share to other computers, okay? And then we're going to click save. Okay. A few other things I want to note here, what we're going to do. You can exit out of that once we're finished. You're probably going to want to launch or open a few ports. I would go ahead and, did I mention that already? Let me see here. I think we should be fine. Never mind, cancel that. We don't have to do that. So you don't have to open any ports. But one thing you want to do is note the local IP address for that device that's connected to the wavelength antenna. Once it's connected, you're going to launch that device. It'll be IPADDR, and it should be 10.42.0.1. So what I'm going to do now, let's see if that does do that. I mean, it should in any case, but what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to unplug. This is connected to my local network over here. It's connected to a big time router that I have. I'm going to unplug that from my router, okay? And then I'm going to plug that this Linux book over here. I'm going to plug that into that antenna back there, which is now over in my hallway over there because it's closer to that server farm access point. I'm going to plug it over into that, okay? So that's going to be plugged into that laptop now, and we're not going to see a connection over here anymore, so that'll cease to exist. So bear with me 1 second here while I go power that on, and then we'll toggle back over to this device. So this looks a little sketch, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. Sorry. Okay, so after connecting there, and again, sorry I had to briefly chop this up because I connected the wrong LAN connection to the antenna. But anyway, as you can see back there now, everything should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this screen. Again, we had to disconnect the LAN connection from that Linux book. Disconnect that to connect that to the antenna over there behind me, which will be broadcasting that, or effectively relaying Blockstream from space, or running Bitcoin from space with Blockstream. So that'll be relaying it on that antenna. So now what we do, we have the laptop behind me now, which is again on my screen to the left. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the instructions in lieu of what was over that Linux book screencast over there, or screen display. So what we do now is we need to connect to that antenna. So we do this by standard convention as we would connect to any other wavelength or any other network. You connect to that wireless, the Wi-Fi icon there. You connect to that. I've already connected to it. It's called Wavelink-N. Okay, so it's already connected and we're good to go. And as you can see here, let me see if I take everyone through that. I believe I do here. The instructions are pretty well detailed here, but I've already launched Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Core client, the GUI version to the right. As you can see, that's the guided unit interface. You do that by running sudo apt-get install bitcoin-qt, and you launch it by running bitcoin-qt, and then that again is referencing a the chain state and blocks files that are on the external USB hard drive that's attached to this computer over here, as you can see to the left. So we've launched that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and scroll down a bit here. It's already connected. So what we need to do now is connect that 10.4.0.1. See, like that address right there? That's what we noted by running IP-ADDR from the other Linux book over there. So again, I didn't run that from the console earlier, but that's what you're supposed to do to get that to find that field. And I'll probably add another screenshot in there to detail it. But again, it's pretty straightforward. You run IP-ADDR to find the INET address, the local INET address, and it should be something like 10.42.0.1. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We're going to go ahead and connect the Bitcoin Core client. We're going to add a node, and that node will be that other that Blockstream laptop over there. So let me just shut up and just show you what's going on. Much better, easier doing than saying. Let's see here. So console, and you'll have to bear with me here. It's a little hard to read because I want to make sure that we get this. You can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy the convention here. It's add node.10.4.2.0.1. Again, that's the INET address. Okay, you can see the convention I've detailed there, but it's add node. That's the node address, and then it would be add in this case. So we're going to go ahead and add it. I think I may have already done this. Let's see if see if it's running already. Okay, so it's not running there. So we already have, I think, how many we have there? 8. We're going to have 8 nodes because I didn't open up port 8333 on this, but let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and paste and type this in. Okay. So that should have added that node there. Let's take a look. Okay, it's running there, and you can see here it'll count there. So that's 19 kilobytes right now. So it's going. So it's connected to that node. Ordinarily, let's see here. See if we can see how many nodes we're connected to. Okay, so if you don't open up port 8333, and again, that's a standard port that you have to set up your port forwarding on your router in order for other inbound connections throughout the world to connect to your local Bitcoin core node. So, or Bitcoin node. So what that effectively does is that port 8333 is a door that is opened up to the world where all the other Bitcoin nodes can connect to and synchronize with each other. You need at least 8 to make it work, but you want to open up as many as you can, so that will sync with the network. That's where the distributed ledger comes into play. So anyway, but in this case, we not only have connected to 8 of the nodes, and again, please bear with me, or I didn't open up port 833 on this laptop. I should have, but I didn't. I already have. I'm running a Lightning node over here. It's actually down there. You probably can't see it, but it's a little Raspberry Pi. It's a Raspberry Blitz running. It's a Lightning node. But anyway, I'm already running a node. I don't want to slog up my connections with another by opening up another port or them compromising a port. And I actually think I'm running that on Tor anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I didn't want to open up port 833, but you get the point here. There were already 8 connections after we launched the Bitcoin core GUI. And then I added the other one, that 10.42.0.1. That's the IP INET address that is assigned to that other, the Pine book over there, the Linux book, which is running Blockstream or running Bitcoin from space. So again, that Blockstream, that Linux book that I have in my server closet, it's now relaying over the air, over that antenna over there. And now my laptop right here is connected to that antenna over there by Wi-Fi, standard Wi-Fi connection. So if you could imagine how this would work in the event of a catastrophic scenario, and again, I'll probably explain this again when we break off here and I adjourn and do another tutorial. I don't know which one we're going to do, but got plenty of Bond movies to pick from with titles if we go in that direction, but I don't know. But anyway, you get the point. You can set up a constellation of these nodes, and then you could probably run your own Electrum server to start sending Bitcoin among the local network you were able to run here. So that's pretty much the point here. You can see, yes, we have a distributed ledger, but then when you send the Bitcoin, right, from one person to another that are connected, essentially connected to this constellation, this mesh network of nodes, that's decentralized. Again, it's not relying on the internet. In this case, that laptop is connected to the internet, so there are 8 connections that's connected to the world outside. As you can see the various IP addresses there. Probably too small, but for you to view, you could probably zoom in a little bit if you're watching it HD on YouTube. But those are nodes located throughout the world. But if we were able to manually input a constellation of nodes fed by Blockstream, we wouldn't necessarily need to be connected to the internet. So this laptop wouldn't need to be connected to the internet. It could just connect by Wi-Fi to that antenna over there. And then that antenna, right, that will be one antenna of a constellation of antennas that will be receiving Bitcoin, the ledger, from space. So it doesn't necessarily need the internet. That's what the beauty about Bitcoin. It doesn't rely on any centralized authority, which again, right now, with these Iranian attacks, they're talking about the world is now a battlefield, just because, our Marines out there, and I think the 82nd Airborne, they're out in Iran right now, just because they're bringing the battle over there. It doesn't mean that in the 21st century that Iran can't run a counterattack and go cyber, and that brings the war to your doorstep. Maybe, I don't know. They could knock out our power. That could also knock out our sewage, gas, and a municipality that might be behind on all their improvements or maintenance might be SOL. So again, this is essential. I mean, we've proven Bitcoin has been proven in places like Zimbabwe and Venezuela, places of widespread civil unrest, and then other places. I think, where else have I seen a ton of civil unrest that really isn't covered by mainstream media, like Hong Kong? I think other places throughout South America, like Chile, Argentina, a number of places. But in any case, in the event of civil unrest, Bitcoin's running 24/7. No need for any bank to be open or necessarily any centralized infrastructure like internet. So that's the beauty of it. So let's go ahead and transition. We'll bring it back off my desktop here, and we'll formally adjourn, and we'll call this once again another mission accomplished, and continue on. But let's go ahead and spin it around here, folks. All right, folks. Well, that concludes part 4, Encore, Quantum of Solace. We're good to go. Got everything going here locally. We were able to connect from this laptop back here over to the mesh network, as it were, fed through Blockstream, which is essentially delivering the Bitcoin ledger from space via satellite, specifically Galaxy 18. So thought it would be a good review, good primer on everything. And but yeah, going forward, I'll probably do another tutorial here. I don't know, maybe the next month or so, month and a half, using this setup to send Bitcoin with an Electrum server. I'm not sure, but we'll see. That's sort of the next thing on depth. I also have a number of other things I'd like to do. Another one, which would be playing around with the new Braveheart phone by Pinebook. They also manufacture phones That Pinebook 64, they manufacture phones. They also manufacture watches. Pretty cool. So those are all, they're going to be formidable competitors to Apple at a fraction of the price. But great bang for the buck, by the way. Like I said, $200 for this Pinebook over here versus $2,000. Now the Max might have the Retina display, but it's probably not going to be not too far before long where Pinebook is able to compete with Retina displays at that price point. So we'll see. But anyway, enough of me blabbering over here. Let's go ahead and adjourn and call it a day. Quantum of Solace. Thanks, folks.